Okay, welcome to those just joining in. If you can all hear me and see me well, we are going to get started with the class. My name is Josema. I am Customer Success Manager at Customily, and together with Morena, we will be hosting this presentation and showing you the basics of the app. You'll be able to ask questions along the way, and we'll be answering them on the chat or at the end of the presentation. Remember that this live session is being recorded and later uploaded to our YouTube channel along with all past live sessions. You can watch each episode again and also find the assets in the description so you can replicate the products you see on the videos. If you're joining us for the first time, you'll probably wonder, what is Customily? Well, Customily is an app that installs on your e-commerce store and provides your shoppers with live previews of personalizable products. With Customily, your shoppers will be able to interact with options by typing texts, selecting fonts, colors, images, and even locations, as well as uploading their own pictures. Each interaction will show them live how the personalization will look on the finished product, enhancing the shopping experience and increasing your conversion rate. If you see this example of a baby onesie, you'll see that we have a particular design, and with Customily, you can interact with the options available and personalize your design. You can pick, for example, this option or this one and type the name and preview live how the customization will look on the finished product. Now, the way this works is that Customily will load a template and an option set in the front end of your store for each product. Within the app, you will have many tools to create these templates and options. But that's not all. Apart from the live preview, Customily will take the information of the personalization and it will go to the orders you receive. And so it will create a printing file that's ready for you to take to whatever machine, service, or fulfillment you use to fulfill your products. So imagine how much time our tool is saving you. If you think back to the way you used to offer personalized products, how you had to collect the shopper's data, create proofs, wait for feedback, make corrections, and much more. All that time and effort has been reduced and automated with Customily's live preview and production files to make your work faster and easier. And now that we know that Customily is a great tool for your online store and that it will help you optimize the shopping experience of your visitors, we can learn about the app itself a bit more. It's important that you approach it with some clear concepts about your business. I highly recommend you ask yourself some questions before beginning. The first one is about the current status of your store and products. Will I be creating new products, either for an empty new store or for a new collection in an existing store? Or will I be selling my existing products and turning them customizable? If you're working with existing products, you will use what we call Customily 1.0. With this, you will be creating templates from scratch and then linking them to your existing products all from the app itself. The options that your shoppers will use will be created automatically, so you don't need to worry about having to code anything. This direct way of using Customily is available for all e-commerce platforms that we integrate with, and you can see them on the slide, as well as any custom-coded store. Now, if you will be creating new products, more questions will pop up. Am I doing my own fulfillment, for example, with my own workshop or a local company? Or am I fulfilling with a known print-on-demand supplier? And then, do I have my own designs that will be personalized, or will I be using pre-made designs from Customily? These two questions will be the entry point to use what we call Customily 2.0. This is our latest update and will allow you to create new listings more easily, faster, and better. Now, this option is only available for Etsy and Shopify stores. So, within Customily 2.0, you will have four ways of creating new products. If you're working with known POD providers, you have two options. You can select a product from their catalog and then add an exclusive design that our illustration team has created for you. These are royalty-free designs and clip art and that you can freely use and manage. Or you can select a product from the POD catalog and use our design studio to create your own designs that can be personalizable. On the other hand, if you're going to fulfill on your own, you have two similar options. You can automate processes by creating product bases, which are the product mockups of what you want to sell and will act the same way as the POD products. And then you can add a customized design to the product base. Or create your own custom designs in the design studio to use over your product bases. Each time you combine a product base with a design, a new template is born and linked to a new listing that Customily automatically creates in your store for you. Product bases can be from a POD catalog or your own, and designs can be from Customily's collection or your own. The result will be the same. Now, in the case of POD products, the listing will be connected to the print-on-demand provider using an API key. So each time there's a purchase, Customily can automatically send the print file for fulfillment. So more time-saving advantages. Okay, let's dive into the app and see how it works. When you access Customily for the first time, pay attention and complete the onboarding you will get, as it will help you answer many of the questions stated before. Then you can see the different sections of the app, and based on your answers, you can easily navigate through them. Here we are in the Start section. This is the 2.0 main interface where you can create new products either using POD suppliers or your own product bases. You also have a quick view of your design collection and product base collection. If you check the left menu, you can see that these two collections have their own sections as well. In the Templates section, you'll be able to create new templates and also see all the templates created automatically with the 2.0 tools. This is the core section of the app, and you can rename, clone, delete, and edit any template. In the Libraries section, you'll be able to upload your personal assets and organize them for quick access and use. You can create colors, fonts, vectors, and image libraries. And this is very important to remember because Customily is an asset manager and not an asset creator. Your images, designs, fonts, etc. will be created or purchased outside of the app. For example, you can create images in Canva, download them in JPG or PNG files, and then organize them in Customily's libraries for later use in templates and designs. In the store section, you can see all the products currently in your store, whether they are draft or active, and see those products linked to Customily, which templates and option sets are loading each one of those products, and of course, unlink or relink any product. You can also access many settings and styles to customize the front-end experience of your shoppers. The orders section is a new feature and for now only available for Shopify stores in beta version. Here you will get a register of all orders made using Customily with backup information about the personalization data selected, the preview, and the print file. Remember that on any e-commerce platform that you integrate with, the information from Customily, including the preview and the production file, will be included in the order dashboard of that e-commerce platform. So you will always have the personalization information in those platforms and those order dashboards, and this section will be a backup for you to revisit any order that any customer may want to redo, to correct, or reversion in any way. So now that we have a more clear idea of how to navigate over the app, let's create a product together. In this case, we are going to be creating this Christmas version baby onesie for 24 months. Now, if you have been watching our live sessions before or have joined previously, you will recognize that we did a baby onesie at some point, and we actually created this design by uploading some images to the design studio. We had three designs, basically, the too cute am I am, the I am your daughter, and I am your son. And we could type the name. Now, this is, if you created this design already, or any design at all, you have the advantage that you can go to your design collection and browse through them. And in the design collection, you have the chance to edit or clone or delete any of these, as well as renaming. And if I were to find this old design, you always have the chance to clone it or edit and reconvert this to a new design. Let's say that you have a very popular design that you can actually adjust and reinvent depending on the time of the year. So right now we are close to Christmas, so we want to reinvent this design for Christmas. We may want to revisit the design for Halloween, for Thanksgiving, 4th of July, Valentine's Day. The advantage is you can always keep versions in Customily without any problem at all. And these designs will be kept and used for your products in your new products. So new versions and changes of these designs will not affect whatever you have in your store already. So I'm pretty sure Morena will share on the chat the live session in which we created this baby name, and let me show you quickly what this design was all about. We basically had a design with a name, and so we had a name here, and we had a quote selection that was basically a vector file or an image file. It's up to you. Depends on the way you're going to be printing. You see, we had one option was this, the second option was this, and the third option was this. So there was nothing else you wanted to do, just pick a name, and that was your customization. Yeah. So let's go to the My Design collection again, and let's clone this, make a cloned version, because we're going to use this design and we're going to do a new version and a Christmas version. So I'm going to click clone. It's going to wait for a second and put it on the last page or at the end of our list. At the end of the list, we have this new design, and we're going to rename this by double clicking on the name. We're going to call this the Christmas version onesie, like that. Or maybe we're going to put this the SW onesie. Perfect. So now this is our new name and our new design. So we're going to click on the edit button here. And this is exactly what we saw before. Now we're going to add some Christmas style to this design. And for that, we are going to also recover some graphics we have used in previous live sessions. Now remember, everything will be on the assets of this particular video, including the images and the font. Everything will be available for you, so you can recreate the original one and then add uh, the Christmas graphics. So the thing about the graphics is, if you have them perfectly aligned, it's possible to actually offer multiple choices for this character. We're going to just add a hat. So to add our own graphics, we need to create a dynamic image. You see, in the Design Studio, you have a lot of options to put up your customization. You have text boxes, straight or curved. Inside each text box, you can allow customers to type their names, to change the font, to change the color. You offer the choices and they will have that available. Then you can also create placeholders, images, and vectors. These are objects meant for your visitors to upload their own files, upload their own images, portraits, logos, etc. We have also street maps and star maps that I recommend you visit our live sessions, that we go deep into these tools and you see how we customize them really nice. And then we have the dynamic elements, dynamic vectors and images. Remember, by looking at this icon, that we have 4 small pictures or 4 small shapes. This is a visual indicator that this object is capable of holding a lot of images inside. Like this object has, you see, 3 different vectors. We have on each position, you will see 1 vector available. And because you have more than 1 choice here, you're giving the customers those choices, like you see here. Customily will take care of creating the thumbnails to begin with, and you can also customize this interface later. But it's very important to understand that this object can hold a lot of information. So if we have the graphics, and we should have them, either because we give you the assets, or you can download them, you can purchase them, you can create them on Photoshop, Canva, or any other software, you're going to click on Upload Image, and you're going to see here that we have this Santa hat. I was trying to see if I had another graphics, but to have graphics that will go with the head, I only have the hat. So that's what I'm going to be uploading. Now, here's the trick. If I upload this at the first position here, this will show always, meaning that by default, the first position is always being displayed. So what we need to do is adjust this so we have the hat in here. See, you can rotate and reshape and everything. And probably we're going to need to grab 2 elements by holding the Control key and resizing this a bit, just so, and probably going to align this to the center like that. So this is very nice, and I'm probably sure it's going to work with the I am your son and I am your daughter. But what happens with the small Yoda? This is not properly fitting. So we need another image that will be bigger and fitting into this on a particular way. Otherwise, it's not going to look nice. So we need to create another version and make sure they don't show at the same time. Meaning that if I create a new dynamic image, I put the hat, I upload the hat, and I make sure it's big, like this. Probably I'm going to need to, let's say, a small hat. We're going to double click and small hat, enter, and let's hide it for now with the eye icon. Put this one here, probably going to shape this like this and this like that. I don't think this is the right proportion. Okay, looking better. Yeah, like that, big hat. So the thing is, if we pick this big hat, this is obviously covering the entire name. So you are going to want to select with the Control key. You want to select the small hat and the design, and make it slightly small enough for you to again put it there. Because I picked the small hat also, it's also showing here, but adjusting to the other shape. Now this is the way you want to do things, but how do we make sure this um, is not showing at the same time? Right now, option one is showing, option one is showing. So ideally, what we want is to show either nothing or the image. We are going to do an alternate. And for that, here is a Customily tip that I usually do is I have, and I'm going to share that with you on the assets, I have a transparent image. Basically, I have an empty image that I want to upload in the first position so nothing shows at the beginning. For example, on the big hat, I'm going to make sure that on the first option, I'm going to upload an image that is transparent. And let me find that as one. Let me copy that and throw that so I don't forget that I need to put it here. Yeah. This, you see black, but it's actually transparent. It's basically an empty PNG file. And if I open this, it's not showing anything at all. It's like empty data. So that will be the default display. And if I go to the second image, like I would go to the second design, I can upload our hat like that. So by default, we have nothing. And in the second option, we have the hat. That's a great trick for you to start empty and make sure that whenever you pick something, that second image will show with the right hat. It's a great way to have coexisting graphics that you don't want to overlap until you start changing designs. So I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to replace this first option, this first image, with an empty image, and then jump to the second position, the second option, and upload my hat like that. So basically what I'm going to do is whenever, and this is something you can do later with the options, whenever I have this design, this small hat will be empty, and this big hat will be showing. And the same will go when I change this to the other I am your son, I am your daughter version. This big hat will not show in the first position, and the small hat will show. I would like to know if I need to go over this again. I don't have any problem in showing you around again. All good, great. So if we have all working in here, we can save the design. Now, very important, because we cloned this design, we cloned the graphics and the options, but we have added new items. We have added items 3 and items 4, and we need to actually save the design. But when prompted, if we want to just save because we just changed sizes or positions, or we actually changed references, added new items or whatever. In this case, we want to save and update our options. So I'm going to click save and update. It's done. And we can see at the end of our list of designs that we have the Christmas version SW1. In fact, I can check the options and see if they updated like that. So if we click on the top corner and preview the options, we're going to see that we have the select the quote, and we have the daughter son, perfect, and we have the name. Now we have the hats here. Why? Because we definitely created a choice, created an invisible choice and a hat choice. Okay, so these two, they're actually not nice, and we actually don't want them. We want them connected to the quote selection at the beginning. So I'm going to get into the conditions of this. So we want this hat to be selected, this small hat to be selected when we have these two choices picked. Okay, so let's make sure that this small hat will only show when we pick these two. For that, we're going to click on the pencil to locate this and see, okay, so we have a swatch called small hat. If we scroll down, you will see that there's a function here called dynamic image number 3. That's the object we are calling. And these are the two items, the transparent one, and the other item is the hat one. So we want the hat to show by default, so we can check this to be selected, meaning that the hat will always be the one to show first. But when do we want to show this first? And for that, we have the conditions section, right? Let's close this. When you see this, you have the conditions. If you click on the arrow to open the conditions, you can add a condition. It is a very simple condition. It's like it's an if logic. So if I click on condition, it will say that this hat choice will show when, and we have some fields here, the name or the big hat, or here, the select your quote is actually this one and or this one. If any of these two is selected, this means that whenever I pick this, I will show the big hat. And we can do the same, sorry, I will show the small hat. And we can do the same with the big hat. If I open the big hat by clicking here, I can drag all the way down to the conditions and have this show when the quote is the baby Yoda. And when it shows, you see it not showing anything. What should we show? The transparent one? No, this is the default view, which is transparent. We want to show this, okay? So whenever I pick, now I can test it out here. Whenever I pick this, I show this, and whenever the big hat, and whenever I pick this, I show the small hat. The last detail we want to do is not have this show and trigger automatically. So we are on the first quote. We have the big hat, right? This is the one. We have the big hat. We make sure this is default selected, default showing, only when we pick this. And to hide this, we have above this function, we have this checkbox to hide the option. So now we make sure this will show, this hat will show, but we don't give the customers the chance to do any modifications. That's it. And if we pick this and we find this, we locate this here, we can do the same, hide the option like that. Let me know if I should repeat this so it's clear for all of you. We basically made a couple of conditions that will trigger certain images depending on our choices, and those images, we hide them so customers cannot modify our pre-made choice. So let's save it, and our design is ready to go. So we can click on the Start Now and do what we saw at the beginning. In the Start section, because we are going to be creating a new product, we will click here. Let's find, for example, CustomCat. In CustomCat, we have the onesie we use once, onesie like here, the 24-month. So you can always pick from any of these POD's catalog, and we can browse through the pages of all the products integrated or search in the bar. Let's pick the product, and depending on the product, you will have several providers and several variants, like colors, like sizes, like shapes. Depending on which variants you select, is the ones you are going to be offering in this particular product you're going to be creating. So feel free to pick any colors you want, any sizes you want. You don't have to pick them all, just at least one variant should be picked. And when you are satisfied with this, with the choice of variants, you're going to click next and you're going to pick a design. Now, the first choice you may want to try is picking from the Customily designs. Remember, we have this choice. We have over 260 designs that are here for you to create, to then customize, pick the characters, remove the dogs, remove the backgrounds, change the quotes. This will create a ready-to-go product with a ready-to-go design, but you can always get inside and do whatever you want to change or create your own designs, and you will have available the hairstyles, the skin colors, everything for you. So this collection is amazing, has a lot of designs, and will inspire you to start working with your own ideas or pick part of the ideas and do the unique side on your own later. Many people like to change backgrounds, they like to change fonts. Everything is possible starting from something. But if you have an entire set of designs on your own that you created using the Design Studio, you can go back and pick from your collection. In your collection, you will find the ones you created. This is the one we originally did, and we cloned this and we put it here as a new version, Christmas version. And we also condition the hat to show because we have two hat sizes. So let's pick this design. Now the process is automated. Customily will create a new listing in your Etsy or Shopify store. Today we are using Shopify. We're going to be using Etsy on upcoming live sessions. It's the same process. And it's also creating, you see this spinning, it's creating a template and options just for the new product. Once the process is finished, you go to this reviewing page. In the reviewing page, you get to see a standard name that I recommend you change, and you change right away because it's going to be easier to find the right name instead of a very common name, especially if you're going to be selling multiple onesies. So if you click on Edit Product Details, this will provide a quick shortcut to whatever you have later in your e-commerce. You can change titles, prices, description, not much more than that. The rest will be editable in the e-commerce platform. But in here, I can put the SW Christmas onesie, Christmas onesie, and put a price to this. Just put something, and you can put the description, anything you want, and save this product to be updated in your store backend with the new name. That's one thing you can do, and I recommend you do it. The second thing you can do is preview. Preview basically you can check if the options were correctly created, if the previews looking nice. So if I were to pick, for example, this baby Yoda, you're going to see that if we did things correctly, the hat will show. And if we pick daughter, the hat will show, but it's going to be a smaller hat. Like that. Once everything is caché, it's going to be really fast to navigate and never change again. It's just a matter of catching up. So let's say I'm going to type Brittany, like that. Okay, an example. And if we like this to be our our sample our sample image for the onesie, because right now the standard image of the product we just created is an empty onesie. It's just white. We can actually preview our customizations, like what we want, and then save this to be our new product image. That button there will automatically put this as your main listing photo. You want other photos and other images for your listing, you can do it also. You can try sun and obviously put this like this, and you can click on preview and right click to save this and say this is the listing number 2, right? And we can also go to the first design and preview this and also save this to be the listing number 3. And these are infinite things you can do. You can preview and show as much options as you want and create as many images as you want, because this will look nicer and provide a lot of information on your listing later. But right now, we just saved some images and put this together. If we don't have anything else to modify or to quickly set up, we can publish this and make it active and ready to sell. If we still need to do a lot of adjustments and price correction, variants and stuff, we may want to save this as a draft and will not be available to purchase until we go to Shopify or Etsy and we make it active. I want to go public, so let me publish this. Okay, so I have a new product in here. It has the image that I picked. The template has loaded. The title I created and the price I set up. And if I pick this, I will see my designs coming to life and typing something like that. If I want to improve this listing, all I have to do is come to my, well, in this case, Shopify backend, check out my products, check out the newest created products. Let me refresh this, and you will see that there's a new listing, a new product in your store. This was created by Customily. It's like any other listing. You can click here and open that, and you can start working with categories, types, tags, collections. Let's go to apparel, for example. Modify this any way you want. Set up different adjustment, SEO and stuff. And if you want to add more listings, images, we have these 2 and 3 also available, like this, right? Or we can even swap like any listing you will do. Let's save this and check out in our front end how this will look. Anything you manage about the listing will always show up without any problem. You can still preview. I want to see where are the media, but I just want to probably refresh this or preview again from the online store just to see. Yeah, there you go. So you can browse through the images all the times you want, especially when you have images of lifestyle and everything. And when you're happy with what you're looking and you want to customize, you just go to the options and you type whatever you want, and it will update your your live preview. Okay, so questions so far, and if not, we may want to jump to the Q&A. Okay, we have a question about Customily design on an ornament from Printify. Perhaps we can do that creation right here. I would like to know which particular ornament we are looking for. Because to create a new product from, in this case, Printify, right? Yes. Well, we have a Printify integration, so we can click here, enter the catalog, and find the ornaments. But given the question, it would be nice to know which ornament, because if we go to the search bar and put ornament, we have like 12 or, yeah. Now, any of these will be possible to put Customily designs. Let's see which one you would like us to revision and revisit. Okay, let's go to the aluminum ornament, one piece. Okay, in this case, we have two possible shapes, rectangle and square. Now, if we pick a customity design, most of customity designs, except for those that have been created for specific shape products, they are usually close to the square proportion. So if we were to create a rectangle ornament, what will happen is that the square design will be centered on the mockup and the print. Let's say, for example, we are going to be picking the rectangle shape. And now we're going to click next. And for the design, we are going to pick from our collection and we're going to go to the Christmas collection. Um, let's see if we pick a nice design. Let's go with the area patrolled by the dogs, right? So I'm going to click on this design, and what's going to happen is the same thing that happened before. We are going to wait for Customily to create a new listing on our store, Etsy or Shopify. This new listing will have a unique template from the combination of the Customily design and the Printify product base. That template will have the options also, and everything will be linked and active in Customily. So the only thing you need to do now is wait for the process to finish, go to the revision part, and do what I just showed you. Change the name of the product so you can easily find that in your store later. Um, Play around with the options and create a nice mockup for and a nice listing photo for your front end, and then save it. One thing that can happen is, because of the shape of this particular product, is that the customity design may be cut off at some places. That is a possible outcome. Not all designs are perfectly fit into any print area. Some print areas will include the bleed, and the bleed is the part between the end of the print and the safe area. So in those cases, we can still do and adjust things by ourselves. For example, this particular rectangle ornament has a bit of cutting off in the shapes. So let's say I'm going to pick 7 dogs, right? So we can crowd everything here and see what happens. Let's start with the um, dog names are this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. And we are going to pick one dog here, right? On the second dog will be this and this, right? In the breed. Third dog, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh, like that. So 7 dogs. Okay. Now we see some cropping, we see some cutting. We may not have this perfectly because, like I said, maybe the design is covering a bleed part that is usually cut off in the process. So not to worry, we can still use this product created, and we can use this template and these options without any problem. We just need to be able to do a quick adjustment. So I'm going to save this image just so I can quickly locate that in the store later. And probably going to change the name of the product. Let me put this Dog Patrol Aluminum Ornament, like that. Save. So now that we have the image adjusted and we also have the name changed and everything, we're going to go let's go draft with this instead of going live. But it's the same except that you cannot buy this because we want to do a couple of changes before. Whenever you click on Save Draft, what's going to happen is going and also publish is going to take you to this page. This page is basically the setting of the product. You are right now navigating in the store section. This store section is what I mentioned at the beginning. You can see which products are linked to Customily and how they are linked. In this case, this this dog patrol ornament has this particular template and this particular option set. If I want to disconnect this because I don't want to offer this customizable, all I have to do is click on the X here and on the X here and save this product, and it will become a simple listing in my store. But by having these two files, I'm turning this product into something customizable. And if I want to actually get inside this this preview and change things because I realize I'm printing too big, I need to shrink this to make sure it goes into the safe area of the printing and everything, I can click on the template because it's a graphic part. The options are all doing good. All the dogs are changing correctly. All the names are working. And the versions of the 1, 2, 3, 7 dogs are working correctly. But the graphic is not correct. So I will open the template by clicking on the quick access. This is the template. In my template section, this is the one created automatically by Customily, and I can rename it and I can edit, clone, delete, and even export. Okay. Let's edit this and see what's going on inside. Any template will have two parts. The first part is the print part, meaning that all the design elements that we see on the front end are actually being printed at a very specific size that is determined by the POD. Okay, in this case, this ornament is 10 by 8 centimeters. That's the print area. And you see only one dog here, and you don't see anything at all, but because you have all the possible options, you have the title here. Basically, this is an image, right? You see, and you can change it by clicking on Upload Image if you have your own title. Then we have the 1 dog, the 2 dogs, 3 dogs, 4, 5, 6, and 7 dogs. You don't see the dogs because we did the same trick as we did with the Santa hat. We have we have the presents. Everything is hidden by default in a transparent first position. But if we start to browse through the other positions, you are going to be able to see all the graphics involved. So if we turn everything on, for example, as a way of saying this, right, we'll see these 4 presents actually are there and they are waiting for us to pick 7 dogs to show. And the same goes with 6 dogs. These are the 4 presents. 5 dogs will have the presents here in these boxes here, and so on. But I'm going to stick with the 7 dogs because I want to see the full scope of the design. I'm going to pick the dog number 4 and preview something. Again, the first option is transparent. Second option is this one. Option number 20 is this one. Option number 60 is this one. You can preview anything you want. This is just for previewing purposes. I'm just going to turn everything into 2 so I can see all dogs. Like that. And now, very important, it's clear that we need to shrink this. Sometimes our POD will have a guide or a base that we can pick this, and sometimes they don't. And it's important that you know the safe area of any POD. In fact, we could actually come here and go to Printify Ornament. And there was an aluminum ornament right here, this one, aluminum ornament. Each one of these usually has a design point in here, and inside this we have the bleed and the template. Let me check. We are right now on the medallion. Okay, this is a rectangle, right? So if we click on this button, we're going to be able to download this design template. Let's go, yeah, here. Okay, and check out this. We have this medallion image. I'm going to put in here. This one. This is the image. So we have this image here. This is provided, but usually most print on demand will have a specification of safe area, print area, bleed area, and so you know what to expect. The full size will always be the one indicated in red or the one indicated by the POD, and you need to make sure that your design will be inside boundaries. So if we go to Customily and we are working on our, remember, we are fixing or adjusting the template that is loading on the front end of our product. So let's say we want to upload this guide image. To upload an image, we go to dynamic images. We can upload anything and pick this guide like that. Yeah, perfect. And one thing we can do is click on this fit to canvas like that. Okay, so what happens now? We do have all these elements together. We're going to close this. We need to change everything about this design. So I could actually grab my control key and pick all of them together like that. Yep. And make sure I I pick one of the corners and I drag to shrink like that. You see how now we are on the safe area, and that's very important. Keep an eye on these details, and you may want to adjust this just a bit more and this just a bit more like that. Right? And now we are perfectly on the safe area. If you actually want to align to the workspace and center everything, it's pretty much center. So like that. We no longer need this guide. We can hide it or I don't know, delete. I'm going to hide it. But right now we made an adjustment to make sure this will print perfectly. Once we have the printing process perfectly adjusted, we can click next and go to the second part of the template. Remember, template has two parts, the print and the preview. You will recognize the preview because it's what you see on the front end. It's the mock-up of the product looking nice and having the design presented and positioned. In fact, there are two files, one called the product color and one called the mask, that provide this background and this shape cutting information to make the mockup look amazing. So in this case, if we have our guide here, right, we can actually make sure we stretch this up and position this exactly. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is a preview, but at least we are going to try and match this the best way we can. Okay? Sometimes previews and guides are not perfect, but with this guide here, we can grab our title, our one, two, our dogs, and everything all together. Let's pick the file itself, right? Pick everything about the print and do the same shrinking process again. Just one. See if I need to. Okay, that's the one. Okay, Let's preview this again and shrink. Do the same process we did. Doesn't have to be perfect, but at least it will provide a live, realistic preview of the product as it is, as you want, and align to the workspace and center. Oh, it's not center at all. Okay, don't worry. Let's position this as centered as we can infer, like that. Yeah, and then we again hide the guide. Everything has been slightly adjusted to fit this, but you see how everything looks nice now. Looks like this is separated, but it's because our guide is telling us that this will not be a safe area to print. You can still extend and print, but some places will be cut off. So it's up to you to say at which point you want your design. Once we are happy with this, we're going to click next, and you will understand at the end how templates work and how Customily works at all. Like we said, templates are loaded on the front end and are the main way for us to provide live previews, because your customers will see the preview and they will be able to play around with the preview. Let's say this. But the trick is whatever they do in the preview will reflect on the print. So if you pick 4 dogs and you see 4 dogs here, it will show here. And if you pick a certain dog, it will show on both sides. So you see, that's how you guarantee that you get a realistic preview, and at the same time that information goes straight to render a production file. That's the essence of the template and Customily. And after we have adjusted our ornament, we save. You don't have to create any new product. You don't have to reconnect anything. You are just updating. Let's create more templates. Yeah. You're just updating this file from this particular product as it is. And if you click on the eye icon here, you can check it out. Even if it's a draft, you can check it out in your store. Obviously, the image, the listing photo is not perfect because we made it with the old version. But if I pick now 2 dogs, you will see that it's looking exactly as we made the correction. Like that. So I'm not exactly sure why you were not able to resize at the point, but to resize something and to make sure it fits, you need to edit the template. This is the outcome of combining information from a design and information from a product base. It creates a unique file that is the one loading on the front end, and that's the one you need to resize if you want things printed correctly and showing correctly at the same time. If you have the chance to retrieve guidance for you to understand the printing process of your fulfillment, that's the best way to go. And you see, Customily will allow you to upload whatever guide you want, position that, reshape, and lock and hide so you can use it, and then discard or keep it but not show or print. And let me see if we have some other questions. Well, thank you for the message as I'm reading. If I want to use a different design using the same template, will I have to do the same process or use the template and change the design? The designs are picked at the process of creating the new product. So the template will be unique for that particular design in that particular product. You can create another ornament with another design, and that will create a new product with a new template. And depending on the type of design that you selected, your template will need to be adjusted or not. It depends. It depends entirely on the proportion of the design you pick. It depends entirely on the bleeding or the bleed of the print, the product. I mean, some ornaments are straightforward. Some others with odd shapes will need to be adjusted. The advantage is that you can those designs can go anywhere, and if you need to make corrections, those corrections you see are pretty fast, and they are just resizing stuff. You don't need to recreate something or rename or move around, except for grabbing everything and adjusting to the correct guide and print safe area. But yes, you will need to create a new product and offer that new design on a different product. Okay, well, I hope now you have things clear as to how to create products using Customily, how to edit them after you have created, um, and also how to revamp all designs using the same interface and creating new products. Remember, we have an excellent support team available to help you during your first steps and assist you with anything you need. But if you also need any further assistance, please don't hesitate to reach them via email. You can open a live chat in the app during business hours, and also you can join our Facebook communities, where you can ask questions and share tips with other users of the app. And that's all for today. Thank you all for joining. We're going to be seeing you next week with new ideas and new products. So have a great weekend and see you soon.